Focus on the homeowner's best friend.
Number one element on the contract, look for the RLC number and verify that that number is, in fact, the company that is there talking with you, and not somebody that just went to the website, pulled a random RLC number, and went out there and used it as their own. What's the next thing I'm looking for?
Okay. And like I said, consistency is very, very important. To me, it's very important. I've seen and heard of those people stumbling through. Well, the salesman went out there. The salesman told me this, and is this what I'm getting? I want to minimize the questions. So we're thorough. So we're going to tell them how we're going to set up how the project's going to go. Basically, that we're going to put a dumpster in their driveway. Maybe it's a trailer in their driveway. We're going to protect their driveway. We're going to put all that stuff into the contract, right? Now, it's not mandatory that you have to say that you're going to protect the driveway, but we do. We're going to say it because that way that message goes all the way from the sales guy all the way through to the crew, to our superintendent, to the very, very end, right? So we're going to set up. We're going to remove the, say it's a tear off. We're going to remove the material. What are we going to do with it? Are we going to dump it on the ground? Well, years and years ago, oftentimes shingle roofs ended up on the ground. Then they got picked up, wheelbarrowed out to a pickup truck and thrown in the back of the truck. We're not going to do that, right? There may be companies that still do that, but basically we're gonna spell out. We're gonna try to specify as much as we can that we're gonna have a dumpster in the driveway. It's going to be blocking the driveway. We're gonna want to talk to them about where that dumpster is going to go, how we're going to protect it. If it's got pavers on it, we may have to line the whole driveway with 3/4 inch plywood or a 1 inch plywood. Depending on the weight that we're going to put on the driveway. If it's a concrete driveway, we're going to put a basic plywood on there. It could be scratched, could be scraped, could be stained, could be a lot of things. So we're going to do that on all of them, but we're going to specify that in our contract. That way, the homeowners he or she can go to that to a person go, well, wait a minute, maybe our dumpster is being delivered, and that dumpster driver forgot to put a piece of plywood on there. We've got this in writing. We all agreed to this. Let's do it. There's no questions, right? What else? So we're going to remove everything. And of course, we're going to be specific about whether we're going to remove the material all the way down to the plywood. Again, there's contractors that'll leave some underlayments on, whether it's a tile roof or shingle roof. They'll leave it on there. Their excuse is it's more insulation. It's better. It's an extra layer of protection. I'm just going to disagree, and I think any legitimate contractor would, but that's going to be spelled out. So when the homeowner's out there and they're watching the project, which I encourage them to do, I mean, I wouldn't set up a lawn chair out there, but if you want to, go for it. But you can see that we're taking that underlayment off. We're looking at the plywood, right? So then probably the next thing is going to be plywood, right? If we didn't have 3 sheets included into the contract, we're gonna spell out the price of how much the decking would be, whether it's plywood or 1x8s or 1x12s or whatever it is. If we run into bad fascia, we're gonna have that price spelled out into the contract. That way, there's no real surprises, right? They know what they're up against, maybe the worst case scenario, that type of thing. And by the way, and we don't put this in a contract, but we take pictures of all this stuff, right? In this day and age, pictures, drones, video. We do so much to keep that homeowner informed throughout the process, right? So we're going to inspect the wood. If it's all good, then we're going to go back, and then we're going to most roofing systems, most steep roofing systems, we'll say, are going to take a base sheet, right? So the base sheet is going to be a big part of it, and we'll take tile, for example. There's a dozen or more different types of material that's going to go underneath tile as a base sheet. I'm not going to get on my soapbox about what to use and what not to use, but we're going to spell that out. We're going to spell out the manufacturer's name, the brand or the style of it, whether it's we'll use G40 as an example. It's a Fontana G40. It's a 20-year warranty if you do two layers, shingle fashion, blah, blah, blah. We're going to spell it out. And I've had customers that have brought me comparable proposals or contracts when it's almost a napkin. They say, well, we're going to install a 40-pound. And that's it, right? No manufacturer's warranty, no description of what the material is, what the manufacturer is. To me, that's disturbing. As a homeowner, that's a little bit disturbing. If I'm getting my house painted, I want to know what brand they're using, right? And when I go outside and I look at the bucket, I want to see that bucket. So I encourage the customer when they go outside and they see that roof's loaded, make sure that you see that material that's in the
specified in the contract.
Specified in the contract. It's sitting up there on your roof.
Rosie on the house, every Arizona home.